We have a buyer beware story this holiday season. Many shoppers may be using mobile devices to buy gifts, but look out. According to Consumers Union, buyers using wireless devices get fewer legal and financial protections. Joining us now, Rich DeSalvo, CEO and founder of Rich DeSalvo Consulting and a former managing director of Morgan Stanley. Always good to see you.
You too, as always, Athel.
So basically, Rich, what they're doing is they're using their cell phone, the
Yes.
mobile device, e-books, etc., to charge to your phone bill.
That's correct.
Really?
Yes.
But you're saying that's not necessarily a good idea.
It's not a good idea. Well, it's convenient, but since one is always convenient, it's necessarily a good idea. So we go along and we use our phones, and we can get an app and we can download and we can kind of tap things and buy a cup of coffee or whatever we want to do, any kind of services. But unfortunately, this doesn't carry the same kind of consumer protection laws as your credit cards. So what's happening, the demand is really not there yet to meet all the technology that's needed. It doesn't connect yet.
So you're saying if you're going to use this mobile payments, this mobile linking, if you will, the better way to go, instead of charging it to your phone bill, put it maybe on a credit card.
That's correct. In a perfect world, and you see the technology today, forgive my prompt, so I could actually take this phone, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see now I'll be able to swipe it soon.
Wow.
And that's until that swipe happens and it becomes a common occurrence for all of us, you're better off using the credit card. It has all of the type of protections that you want, or liabilities if you don't like the purchase,
Right.
if something's broken, gosh, even roadside assistance and points.
Really?
This doesn't give you that.
What about perhaps linking the mobile payments to, say, a debit card or your bank account?
That's fine. Yes, that's fine, because there you're not having that debt incurred, and you'll have a little bit more protection. But again, you still have to be careful, because if that does happen, you don't have the same consumer rights as you do when you have a credit card. Remember, there's very specific laws and things that have happened through the years to create consumer rights for you. This is just a convenience. So I'll take my consumer protection anytime over my convenience.
And then, of course, if you link it to your bank account, you have to worry about, not spending too much. Now, to avoid that, some people may say, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll connect it to a prepaid card. You say not necessarily a good idea either.
That's correct. Anything you pay it to, you're still going to have a hard time getting back money if there was a problem, if an item was broken, especially if this gets stolen. Think of this as a credit card, and someone can actually go and use it. Now, there's only one carrier out there that actually says, don't worry about it, you're covered.
Who's that?
Verizon. But all the rest have said, no. If it takes you 4 hours to realize you've lost this and someone's charging away,
right,
that's your liability.
Too bad for you.
Too bad for you.
Okay, so then what if you want to link it to, again, you have to be careful with not losing your mobile device, but let's say, just continuing on, if you want to link it to, say, a gift card.
You can link it to a gift card, but just remember
Same
something.
thing.
It's the same. Once you make that purchase, the difference is how can I pull it back if the item was if the item's broken?
Yeah.
You may have a hard time getting your money back.
So basically, even though we are all looking forward to living in the day of the Jetsons, technology is not there yet. Technology is there, but it's not locked in and synced in with consumer protection. Basically,
that's correct. The convenience is there, but that's about it. Give it time. We all want this to be our panacea for life. Not yet.
Okay.
That's all. So I'll end there.
And finally, I think you wanted to make one last point about cell phones and use, especially around the holiday season.
I did. Thank you. In fact, as I was driving in today, I saw so many people doing this as they were driving. And I just want you to know, last year there were about 6,000 deaths related to people in cell phone driving. And I think in the spirit of what we're trying to do, we know this has become something important to us, but let's use it with pause and caution.
It's not more important than anybody's life. Rich DeSalvo,
Right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for good tips.
You got it.
For so many of us, the new year brings a new beginning. It could be you want to lose weight. It could be you want to spend more time with family. It is a time for making resolutions. More importantly, though, we want to keep them. And if you're making New Year's financial resolutions, we're going to help you keep them all year long. Here now, Rich DeSalvo, former managing director of Morgan Stanley, to help us, Rich, make financial resolutions we can all keep, because we'll be better off in the long run at the end of next year or this year now. Let's start with some tips, and we'll put them up actually, of some of the resolutions you can make. And the first one I wanted to ask you is about paying yourself first.
Yes, what I mean by that simply is establish a pipeline. If, for example, I want you to create a relationship between your bank and your checking account or your or your paycheck. I don't care if it's even $5 a month, Jamie. I want the pipeline to be built. And once you create that, i.e. pay yourself first, over time when things get better, it might be a $25, $50, or $100 a month. But if you don't build the pipeline first, which won't cost you any money, just a little bit of time, then the pipeline just simply won't be built.
Okay, let me move on now. Let any extra money follow the highest interest rate and lever down. What does that mean?
Yes. What I mean simply is, let's say you have a credit card debt of $2,000 at a 20% interest rate, and then you have a mortgage, say, at $100,000 at 5%, and you have a tax refund. I want you to take it and follow the interest rate. I'm asking you to take it and pay off the 20% first. Forget the balance. That's bad debt. Let's get rid of bad debt and leverage down. And if you do have the extra dollars, get rid of those big interest rates first.
Also, you say that one of the things, if we're thinking about life insurance, there's a way for us to save money on our premiums in the new year. How do you do that?
Yes, there is. There's really two primary ways. First of all, if you were a healthy eater last year and you kept the resolution of losing weight and you lost probably more than 10 pounds, you can go back to your life insurance company and probably get a discount on your premium. The same as if you actually quit smoking for 12 consecutive months. You're now considered a non-smoker, your rates can lower also.
That's a great idea. I wonder if we can go back to our credit card companies and say, we paid our bills on time and we're making progress on our balance. Give us a better rate, too.
Well, it's funny you say that, but you're absolutely right. Everything in life is negotiable if you want it to be. And going back and saying, I'm a good credit, and getting that 20% even down to 15% always makes a difference.
I love it. A penny saved for our future. Flexible spending accounts. Some of the rules changed. Some people don't even bother. They think it's complicated. But if you can pay for your drugs or your child care or your medical visits with pre-tax money, there's a real benefit for that. Do you advise people take advantage?
Absolutely. I do, Jamie. Unfortunately, that advantage, as you called it, is now going to be limited. And the reason it's limited, which really gets me frustrated, is because of the new healthcare reform. It has to be paid for. And one of the ways they're doing that are taking this wonderful benefit that the middle class love and enjoy, called flexible spending accounts, and things like braces and unreimbursed medical expenses. It used to actually be limited. You could put as much as $5,000, $10,000 a year into these plans on a tax-deferred basis. That number, beginning 2012, is now going to be $2,500.
That is a significant cut in that benefit.
It is, and I think it's something people don't realize until they actually go for this year and try to do something. So therefore, all the other tips that you and I are sharing today, you have to take advantage of, because you're going to be limited with the flexible spending account.
All right, last tip. You say you should share with your loved one what your financial resolution is. You know, more couples break up over money, I'm sure. So you really want us to tackle that one?
You know something? Either you have a partner or you don't. And if you have a partner, and I use a simple analogy, if I wanted to go work out and have exercise, right? If I actually had a partner and I had to get up 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to disappoint my partner. Same thing with financials. If I set my goals and I have a partner and we're trying to pay off our credit cards together, take our tax refund and put it towards a debt payment together, right? Together, two is better than one.
All right, well, I'll just remind folks, since I'm an accountant and a lawyer, if you're getting a tax refund, you've paid too many taxes in.
It's an overpayment.
Readjust your withholdings at the beginning of the year. That's my little tip. Thank you so much, Rich DeSalvo. Great information today. Thank you.
My pleasure, Jamie.
All right, Happy New Year. And if you want more Take Charge consumer protection information, go to foxnews.com, go on the America's News headquarters page, and right there you'll see the link for more of these Take Charge segments you'll only see on this program.